Thank you so much. Funny how topic is community. Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today. So the initial topic was computer literacy and social media. And I started asking myself, what exactly can I present on computer literacy? And I just kind of like drilled it down to a topic called social media trends and predictions for the future. My objective with this topic is to inform us about the trends in social media and what are the predictions for the future. But at the same time, I want us to be able to think. I believe that there are business owners in this space, and we all have access to social media, that we use social media in some way. And I think I want us to now like think of how can we use social media better, like after leaving this presentation. And I would also love this if you could ask questions. If you have a particular social media scenario or social media case study that you love my input on, I would love to hear that. I would love to answer that. But I think this presentation is just more of just a guide in regards to, let's have a conversation. Let's just see what social media are currently. Like Lenore said, come on, Lenore. 1 second. Okay, there we go. So a little bit information about myself. So every time I speak about my bio, I like to obviously my business self and segment, right? But I have a professional background. My professional background comes from, so I used to work with a platform called MTV Base, MTV Africa in Nigeria. I was the lead digital media coordinator for brands such as BET, MTV Base, Nickelodeon, and Comedy Central in the African market. That's the entertainment side of my life. And then I moved to Canada in 2021. I worked there for 5 years. Then I moved to Canada in 2021. And then I got an opportunity to work with a company called Intuit, TurboTax, right? I worked there as a digital marketing intern. I came from Nigeria, came to Canada, and I managed tax. Like I have no tax. But the truth is, like, at the end of the day, marketing is marketing. I worked in TurboTax, and then I moved on to a company called NIT. NIT, they are an educational learning platform, but I was given the role, or I was given the account of real estate. So I was doing the real estate account of Ontario. So that's entertainment, cafe, real estate. Currently, I work in a healthcare tech company. And I say that because sometimes I have my own. But the end goal is, like I said, we solve one problem. Like, I solve one problem. I use marketing, I use digital marketing to promote products, right? So, like I said, I've had these experiences from working across entertainment, tax, finance, health, and currently I'm also doing events now, the Acrobat Festival that I did. I think one of the powers, or one of the most successful things of the Acrobat Festival was the content or the way we utilize social media to promote the festival. That is not happening. Closer to the festival, we were panicking. Well, not panicking, but I was like, okay, yes, social media is happening. And then we started thinking of how can we use offline practices, and offline practices like printing posters, printing banners, and all of those things to be able to, create more awareness about it. But we first of all started social media, taking our social media. And then setting the traction that we're getting in social media. When we started planning the festival, then I like to say the story. I said, okay, if I see 250 people at the festival, 250 people, 250, I'm good, right? And then somebody was like, 250 people, that's small. They were like, okay, no, let's do 1K. Now 1K, that's for you to say, okay, if I see 250 people at the festival, I am good. Lo and behold, we came at the festival, it's over 4,000. So we started seeing traction already on social media. And I kind of started saying, wow, this is, can space we're going to use handle this? So by the time we already put money for things like flyers, like we already went down, because I was scared. I was like, okay, it's 50 people. Okay, we definitely need to go and get people to like, can we go to people's houses and invite them to Afrobyte? Like, you're ahead of Afrobyte. But every time by the time we started printing out flyers, and by the time we went to start giving out people flyers, like, oh, you've seen it online already, or we've heard about this event already, right? So it was like, we definitely did good on social media, right? So it's more about how can we utilize social media to amplify our content. This is an interesting quote that says social media is not just an activity, it's an investment of valuable time and resources. I've been in spaces where people are like, social media is a waste of time. What are you doing on social media? It can be a waste of time, but in everything you do in life, there has an intention to it. I can't count how many opportunities I've gotten from social media. In fact, my first job in Canada, I got it from, does anybody know a platform called Clubhouse? Clubhouse. Oh, okay. That's fine. So Clubhouse was a social media platform that launched during the pandemic. It was one of the voice chats. It was one of the platforms that started going through voice chat. So you join the platform, and you're in a room where people are just speaking. And then I was in Nigeria in 2020, and I was like, okay, I'm coming to that in 2020. How can I surround or plug myself to like that, that can potentially bring me, opportunities. So in 2021, by the time I moved here, job search here and there, I was in this room where they were doing shit for like jobs and all of that. And I joined the room, and then they gave me like 15 seconds to pitch about yourself and talk. And then I spoke, and I was like, okay, my name is Peter, blah, blah, blah. And then lo and behold, they said, you know what, connect with me, blah, blah, blah. One thing led to another, to my personal business through social. So I feel like there's just a powerful investment. Kind of spend time in how we use or how we celebrate social media. So that definitely rewards from it. I have best stories about social media. Even Afrobyte, like I did for Afrobyte. I reached out to a company that does events here in Kitchener. I sent them a message on Instagram. Randomly, I was like, I see you guys do events, but I don't serve Kitchener. Or they're like, oh, like maybe I can come to events. But it's not about me coming. I want us to do something together where we actually see, like, how can we actually like do something for Black people. So one thing led to another. My point is, there has just been deliberate there has just been much investment of valuable time and resources. When you think about investing time into something, social media, you definitely will see your rewards come out. So impact on business. What impact does social media have on businesses? Social media has transformed the way businesses operate and communicate with customers. Like, lo and behold, there were days where people would need to, people still do that. There are different forms of marketing. Marketing in general, social media is definitely a form of marketing. It's very impactful, low cost, and cost-effective way to reach customers, right? So now we have, I'm not sure what the amount of people are active on social media right now, but there's a large and diverse audience. Like if you are selling an XYZ product, your first place that you can find your consumers are on social media. So how do you target those people on social media? It's cost effective. It takes you $0.00 to open a social media account. Like, you don't need any money to start a social media business. Direct engage consumers, like I said, you have access to a whole world of customers on this platform or this platform. Brand reputation management, you kind of build, or we've seen beyond even just businesses, we've seen content creators, we've seen influencers that have social media pages that create their reputations on social media. I'm a huge football fan. I was just saying that I was watching the football game. Soccer. Stay here. Man, you know, you have football. That's a soccer, but not American. Yeah. No, people then, when I was growing up, I really used to wonder, okay, so yes, I'm watching TV, I'm watching the game, but like, what literally happens behind the scenes? Like, okay, yes, so I know that these guys they go out, they pay people and all of that, but like, after they keep the ball, what happens? I think it was when the time that they're becoming popular, they are still seeing some of those content, some of those things, that experience. So in brand reputation management, like there are ways where you can use content to kind of like create some form of reputation amongst your general population or your general audience. Now, this is my first interesting question. What social media platform do you guys think is the right now? Snapchat, TikTok. Facebook as a platform itself, a social media network. Not so. Meta is the main company now. Under Meta, it's Facebook, Instagram. But Facebook as a social media platform still remains the largest social network with 2.8 billion active users. It's crazy because we have TikTok right now. I would have assumed it's TikTok. I know Americans have it. Right, but Facebook is still one of the biggest.
I think that's a demographic. I think Facebook is like
Yeah, true. I could have actually put that in, I can check that, but I agree with that. But still, in regards to monthly active users, 2.8 billion people are using Facebook still. So even regardless of there can't be over 2.8 billion.
But not include Messenger. I know young people use Messenger.
Nah, just Facebook itself. Facebook as a social media network is still one of the largest social media networks currently in the world. Sorry, go on.
Do you think that Facebook will remain as the leading platform in a few years?
I think so. I really think so. Because like every time I look at this stats, I've been seeing this Facebook because I personally don't use Facebook, but I haven't. I use Facebook more for business, right? But I see that there are still people that are eat that post business, and they still feel like it's one of the platforms. So Facebook, and what Facebook, which I'm going to go into now, when I speak about business, Facebook has been, or Mark Zuckerberg has been very, or he has been very, they have stared in opportunity things like AR, and I feel like that's really a good job. And Facebook are currently the leading platform for that. So if you want to, I'm going to go into it, but from the VR perspective, once you have access to that VR platform, they have created their own platform for people. Want to use that? Facebook. So that's going to be so the number that's going to be able to retain that match or that activity towards people. And then like I said, so that Instagram is on that. So like Facebook is the largest, but I still feel like a company itself, they are still very relevant. I think it's not about creating tools that can really attract more for
Well, let's say you're the expert. So what I have noticed is that we recognize that they third generation, so to speak, but I'm also seeing Facebook, but Instagram, but I'm also seeing a lot of businesses and also just recognizing that TikTok is also political because a lot of people that I follow are people that for injustice, but I do see that on Instagram are slowly we're the shift are slowly transitioning to TikTok.
TikTok has in recent times gotten backlash from like I said, like the political side, from the data side and stuff, right? But I still feel like TikTok, Instagram, Reel, and one thing like I said about Meta, about Facebook, once they see a trend, they are quick to what happens sometimes they don't do the trend. Snapchat, anybody use Snapchat? Anybody use Snapchat? Okay, so Snapchat. when Snapchat works, Wait for this time. That was when the idea of who I record, I pick up my phone and record something. Yeah, there were the first people that said to me like, guess what happened? First of all, like, I like this. I buy it. So I said no. Guess what is it? Yeah. So right now, that's almost irrelevant because Facebook has created some of these elements. Instagram, TikTok, right? Instagram Reels. Does anybody know what Instagram Reels are? Yeah. So Reels started because TikTok, Instagram Reels started because as a way to dive down TikTok. TikTok is still strong, but I know Instagram has pumped a lot of money into the idea of Instagram Reels. That they do not get so they've made Instagram Reels to Facebook Reels. So the same idea, the same participation you get when you're using TikTok. You go on Instagram, you get the same thing. I used to be on TikTok like regularly. But since Instagram started doing that, or Facebook started doing that thing, I'm mostly now on Instagram. But I chat more with my friends. Like it's just easier, like I have everything on Instagram. It makes me myself. But I assume that next couple of years, TikTok is still going to be there. Maybe from like Gen Z, Gen Alpha, I think that's what we call it right now. So the younger generation might most likely have got some of these things, but I feel like Facebook and Instagram still do get very like anything that
no. Just two things. My kids are Gen Z, and I remember before Snapchat can say, "Oh, they're going to do it for the Vine."
Right.
That was before that. And that sort of went.
Yeah. Vine. I was speaking about a friend of mine. I was speaking to a friend of mine about Vine like 3 days ago. Yeah, but sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. So I was just thinking about how they can, if they don't get ahead of the trend, they can just dissolve.
Yeah.
And then the second thing was we had talked about sort of graying of Facebook, that people, it has a reputation of having overflows on it, but I think what it is multi-generation. Because there was a time where my kids, I want to get on Facebook. Now they're not on Facebook, they're Snapchat and this and that. But when they're in school or doing a school project or doing a school trip, let's make a Facebook group to chat. That's how they have become active users. So they're not there scrolling with their friends, but they're there coordinating their trips and their projects.
Yeah, like they always have, and that's why I think I was going to say about innovation, like just in general. I think it is important that just in life, just in right, like based on what we're here now, the most important keyword I think is Facebook has the taking elements of brands or different brands and innovated towards the way where they can stay relevant. I think the one thing for me sharing this recent social media as business owners to how do you think of innovation to be on top of trends that platforms that are giving opportunities for. I think which brings me to my first slide of this, which is live streaming. Does anybody know what live streaming is? Because yeah, okay, cool. So live streaming, I think live streaming started from my recollection. Live streaming started from Twitter. Twitter were the first people that started experimenting with live streaming, and then guess what happened? Facebook said live, they took up the elements of live. But I think live presents an opportunity to, obviously you could, what we're doing right now is like it gives us an opportunity to broadcast, right? Like right now, content is in social media as synonymous because you definitely need content. Content can come from information, can come from text, can come from pictures, can come from videos. But the most important way to kind of like stay informed is through content. So people want to see what's going on social media, and live streaming presents an opportunity to be able to access a more interesting market, a more wider market in regards to presenting information, right? So, you're at an event or you're doing a conference, for example, and you want your followers or like your people that are relevant, that are interested in your business to know what's going on. What's the easiest way to communicate to people that are not there? Live streaming, right?
So do you ever worry that by providing the live channel, you reduce the number of people who come? Let's say we have the live system.
Not really, because people that are in Nigeria still want to see. So now the thinking is I'm able to penetrate markets that do not have access to this particular like content, right? And for me, it's like, so we know that live streaming doesn't still present the on-ground experience. I never repeat. Unless maybe, the question happens, like that is very important. It's better for me to still be on ground, but I say elements that I'm not going to be able to see. It's like, it's what the camera is giving me, that I'm going to see right. So on ground, if you still want to get the experience, you're going to be there. But for live streaming, I would assume that when I'm thinking about more live streaming, I'm thinking about people that are not, like, they want to come, but they cannot make it there. So for example, I know that my mom, this year, we gave a last minute like link to stream in the festival. And my mom was like chatting on the stream because she was like, oh, I'm not here, but like, I think it gave her the experience of being able to be there too.
I'm never going to get into this because we're still talking about live streaming, but on the particular platforms, what I noticed personally is that there's engagements, but you still get value out of it because the algorithm, if you have more engagement, then it pushes up in the feed. So we got this with when you're live streaming our Black History Month events. For that because we're getting all the online engagement, our Facebook page. Thereafter, people would like and follow and all that, but I guess we were popping up more. The association was popping up more in their feeds. And I would say for myself, I did something. I was public speaking, but we had something called the 70-day challenge, where every day we live stream like a 5-minute video. And I noticed for my personal page that people would say, "Oh, I saw your video when you talked about, you talked about cooking, whatever, cooking." And I'm thinking, I'm like, when did you see that? And I would have seen it that day, but it was something I would have live streamed days before. So because of the engagement that I was getting, it was still coming up in people's feeds. So it's like, yes, you're giving away views, but then it promotes your name. The algorithm promotes your name.
Yeah. And I was the first way I think about AI algorithm. Algorithm is just an AI tech. I'm not really good at tech, but like AI thing that social media uses to recommend content. So what happens is the more people engage, or the more I engage with, let's say, for example, food, the more social media or the more Facebook, for example, is able to say, okay, we're going to be showing on your Instagram page more food content, right? So that's I have a slide where I speak about AI. But what AI does now is the more people engage, or the more your content is entertaining to more people, the more people are able to engage, or the more people are going to see, or the more Facebook or social media platforms are going to recommend your content to other people, right? So yeah. Okay, so again, second trend, disappearing content. I gave 2 scenarios about Snapchat and then now Instagram stories. But these have since gained popularity with over 500 million daily stories on Instagram alone. I think one thing that people like to do is there's something called FOMO, fear of missing out, right? It's about, okay, I pick up my phone, what do you want to happen? Like, there's just that appeal where it's like, what's going on in this person? Like, what's this person doing? I don't know if there's something called Gen Z, something called Be Real that they use now. I'm saying this as a millennial, but I have my cousin where I think, so the name of the platform is Be Real. What happens is it gives you an alert at maybe like a certain time and tells you to take a picture, like be authentic, take a picture of like what you're seeing and take a picture of yourself right at the moment. So I can be literally in the room and then I just see my cousin doing this. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, oh no, he's content. I'm like, okay, interesting. But it creates that appeal of, there's that action of, I want to see what's going on in this person's life. Like, I want to be able to like just see. And it's not like, for example, the live streaming where it's like you have 30 minutes. This is just more like quick content, right? So again, thinking about your business, how do you cut out segments or create stories? This is exactly what it's called, stories about your business using this kind of platforms, using this kind of tools, disappearing content, right? A simple example again from the Afrobash festival that I would give is, there's the live stream part of it, but at the same time, quick content. How do somebody's performing, I record the person, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and then just post it on Instagram story. So that's content. Some people are able to engage that. If, for example, I don't know if you follow For All Ice Cream, for example, I know For All Ice Cream is very good on Instagram, amazing content that they post. You know, when they are creating recipes, for example, you see them, they just kind of like create quick content that shows like how they're creating that, like the process and everything else, right? So just thinking about how do I explore some of these opportunities when I'm creating, you know, like my own social media content. So just gonna keep on going on. Virtual reality. Virtual reality is what I feel like is the next phase of communication, of interaction. Facebook again, like I said, it feels like I'm promoting Facebook for no reason. Well, the truth is, like, I mean, when you speak of social media, you can't not talk about Facebook, right? But I actually should. So they launched something called Oculus, and they've really been setting the trend in regards to how do we use virtual reality in, I guess, in our world of today. Virtual reality is a device so there's virtual reality and augmented reality. Virtual reality transforms or it takes us to a virtual world where, you know, different things or different experiences are created, right? We could use things like avatars, for example, put on the device that you're taking to, or the device is created to create an experience in a virtual world, right? Communication, I know there was a time when during the pandemic, rather than going to meet, not that there was COVID, nobody was going out. I think virtual reality started even taking a shape then where rather than having to go to meet people wear these headsets, they would sit in like able to sit in rooms and communicate and have meetings in this virtual world, right? I feel like the future of communication is probably going to go there where, you know, I may be here, but like I have friends that may be like in like wherever, right? I'm like communicating with ourselves with this avatar or with this virtual reality world, right? So, and there are different ways that they create experiences. You know, you could go swimming, you could go fishing, two different experiences, different virtual reality world, and that's where the future of social media is going to. AI. Has anyone ever been online and maybe you search or you're thinking about shoes, and then you see an Instagram ad that's telling you to buy shoes? Yes. About it, right?
Princess Diary.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have friends of like personally, right? I kind of figured out a way to have that, but at the same time, I'm like, this does not make any sense. I was only talking about something about camping. Like I didn't search anything. I think I was just talking about camping, some camping equipment, and the next day I'm saying like camping, and I'm like, okay, this is suspicious.
Why are they allowed to access your movie?
No, technically they say no.
Exactly.
Technically they say no. But my theory, or like the obvious theory towards why that happens, say you're watching what you said there. Now what happens with data? It's called data mining, right? What happens is, if for example I search on Google, I search Princess Diary, I search a new shoe, right? Not necessarily on even Instagram or Facebook, but the fact that I search on my platform or wherever, there's something called cookies, right? There's a tool called cookies on Google that what it does is it tracks, it sees the data and makes sense of the data. Like for example, we are searching your identity keyword, which is what you're doing, blah blah blah. It then fills that information and then recommends it to advertisers. And what advertisers do, based on what you've searched, you use the keyword shoes, right? What will happen? Facebook will then start showing you ads about shoes. The one I don't know, and that's what I'm like, I'm not sure, because like I said, there are times where I have just spoken.
Exactly.
And then I see an ad, I'm like, okay, this I don't know, that's very fishy. But the one I can speak about is I know that when it comes to data, when it comes to things that we said, maybe these are maybe the things that we're watching or whatever, there's a way they track all of this information. And someone was saying something about, oh, social media, or people have said about social media, they can track on social media, blah, blah, blah. The truth is, as long as you have a device, smartphone device, not even just social media, it's actually not have Instagram page or whatever you are scared about data. But the mere fact that you have a device, a smartphone device, they are being tracked. That's a reality. Yes, because
I don't think I've spoken, not searched, I got stuff.
yeah, true. Now that you actually mentioned that, true. Because sorry, I'll go on. Because the truth is, again, like I said, these things, they call it the double-edged sword of this. I don't think it's like they are using these things to recommend things that you may need, right? So if they are listening to your activity, that sounds very intrusive. Very intrusive. They are listening, so the Google Home you mentioned that. Yeah. Yeah, because I have a Google Home device, but I remember now that, I mean, if I tell Google to play a song for me, for example, I'm giving an example of a song. What I noticed is, okay, I play one song, and I use YouTube Music. So just this is random, but for my streaming, the platform I use to stream music is YouTube Music, and I feel like I use YouTube Music because YouTube understands my taste, right? Because the songs that it plays for me, they know. So I'm asking to play something, and it already knows, it already gives me the information that I want. And I think that's kind of like how these devices kind of like operate. Where it's like you search based on what you're searching, based on what you're clicking. They are going to harvest data to be able to recommend solutions or to recommend like the best products for you, right? So yeah,
and the other day I got my car, my friend was up there, yeah, and it says, hey, well, okay. So we have this, then we said we talked about, we have action, so I can draw that is something based on. We can always that haven't made them a lot, because then you find something like this, write something, so then I have like
I mean, like I want us to go here from the point of the reason why I'm seeing this, not because somebody's on your phone actually checking, like, they are actually based on, so if you check your phone, you have accepted some condition that says, this XYZ has the access to what is it? You turn it down.
Like you said, yeah, like when you say that it but other things like I got to a point so just transition.
Yeah, but the moment you
I think it's going back.
Yeah. Yeah, the moment you accepted once, giving them access to accept cookie and whatever, start mining this information. That was more for you.
I was just gonna say, this whole conversation, I recently watched the Social Dilemma.
Yeah.
So it's a good explanation of it. But our household, like, have devices that turn on and beep and everything. And what we told our kids, what we tell ourselves is, we always say Google is a search engine. Google is a marketing company. And like, when you get into the Alexa going for like $59.99, it's like that. They want everyone to feel like they want to order from Amazon. So if we remember that search engines are actually marketing companies, then we can sort of frame it better in our mind. And I share this only because my friends might travel. So as mom, I'm like, I'm looking at the things, I sent some links. Boom, my Facebook is everything I just played. And so at the end of the social dilemma, I said, if you don't want to be data mined, you can't really track the clicks. And so how you do that is just come off of Google and they recommended something called Quant, Q-U-A-N-T, and it's just a French search engine that doesn't track clicks. I used it for a week and a half. I'm like, I feel great. But then I went on website, it didn't remember I was here. It didn't
Yeah,
remember.
it's like, it's feeling that, right?
Know me.
Yeah, exactly.
Side,
Yeah.
I watch Quants.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was an interesting discussion about how we learn.
Mhm.
So I recommend everybody read the whole version. Things we're looking for, once it's out, can't put it back in. So we love the conveniences, etc., but you don't know what's gonna come down. So I guess I get you about social media, but some things is like, I will use, but I won't go all out.
Yeah, I mean, you also don't want to be putting sensitive information. You need to be very, like, if you're not an quote unquote an influencer, and even the influencers or content creators that do it, they have a reason why they do that, because they've seen that their content gives them money. So why not? But if you feel like you have a family, you don't want to, like, there's no reason why you should be doing that, right? Like, you just need to kind of like choose how you present your information. And I think again from business, because the idea for business is you want to make money on business, and the truth is, like you said, it's like Facebook is creating recommendations for people. So obviously, if my business can get recommended to somebody, why not use that, right? For free. You're spending $0.00 unless you spend the money on the ads to be able to reach like a wider audience, right? But the truth is, when you're thinking about business and I'm thinking about social media, it is a cost-effective way to be able to kind of like explore, like a new audience or like a new market. So let me.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I'm not a big user of social media myself. I have a Facebook account. Not very much else. Really surprised me once when my phone started watching. You saw this in the last days. Like what? I think many people don't recognize that these companies are able to offer these accounts for free. Is the value to them is way more than anything they would ever charge.
Yeah.
So they're giving it to you, knowing that they make money.
Yeah.
So even when I upload a photo to social media, just a simple photo, not a video, not narrated, nothing. That photo has data associated with where you were, right? The time of day was uploaded and stuff like that. And then, and so they can use that information. You're here, that location as well, and then use that in their algorithm.
Yeah.
I actually work in the data science itself. Nothing does it. Facebook. But what we're able to do with my workplace is something that we're really thought about.
Yeah. I think there's an example that was, or when I was in school, I was in my master's. There's an example that they gave us about, I don't even remember, let's say, but lack of remembrance, let's say Costco, right? There was a way Costco was able to track how their customers were able to segment pregnant customers just based on buying purchase. Now, this is not social media. This is more of taking cards and seeing what they were buying, right? So based on that, we're able to mine that data and start kind of creating, start recommending, even with newsletters, to say, you know what, vaccination. So this is not social media now. This is just information. This is just swiping, right? So just know about data.
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to add, that's actually a real story that a father went into the company and accused them of accusing, that his daughter was pregnant. And what the company had done is track the purchases she had made, compare it against other people who had made this purchase, and were able to contact friends. The company knew she was pregnant for about and they were sending for baby stuff in the mail saying you can do this. So the counteraction to they knew that she was pregnant for 3-4 months, but she wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And when she wasn't telling me, sorry, I think I stepped on
Yeah, you're gonna see.
I was yours.
How is the implication of social media? Yeah, apart from that, there are no ways. Yeah, 100%. Like I said, I got my first job in Canada using social media, or not using the platform called Clubhouse. Again, like I said, it's about being. So one thing I always like to say is, you miss 100% of the trust you don't take, and that's with social media. I mean, social people say social media, they use social media for dating, or yeah, I use social media for. I entered DMs on Instagram when I'm looking at business opportunities. How did I meet? Even lift off, right? I think how I joined the lift off program was me taking my step, me going away of what are the lift off programs in Canada. Or I saw I went to go and search the people that work in like these different companies. That's another thing social media gives you access to, because how else would you find this? How else would you find this information? Connect with people, start conversations. I'm not going another like automation AI. There's ChatGPT. If you don't have if you don't have if you don't have a way to compose a message, ChatGPT, I'm looking for a job. Can you please compose a message for me to send somebody on LinkedIn? And you can use that and send to the person. So beyond even using LinkedIn, find the profiles of these people that, like, for example, you have a dream job. You want to work in Google, for example. You want to work in Google Kitchener, right? Go on LinkedIn, try and connect. What this platform gives you is an opportunity to connect. So how do you leave your comfort zone and make yourself uncomfortable in the sense of reaching out to people that they may tell you no, but you will not even tell you no if you don't try, right? So it presents an opportunity for a job seeker, it presents an opportunity for you to put yourself out there, explore this opportunity. LinkedIn, you mentioned, is a great example. I think LinkedIn does the purpose of what LinkedIn should do, is to connect job seekers to potential employers, right? So how do you make sure that your LinkedIn page is up to date? So to make sure that, I think even my current job right now, I got it from LinkedIn too. I feel like my whole life, my success story literally fully is of just being able to present a brand on social media, right? Like the job I was working at before I got this job I'm currently working on, currently working at, I got laid off from the company. But before I got laid off, I was already like, okay, these guys, they reached out to me and they were like, oh, are you interested in this job, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'm enjoying my current job, right? I don't really care. But let me take the interview. So we still having conversations. So I was getting laid off in this other job. I was already getting prepared to work into this new job. And that happened on social media, right? That happened just because my profile, the person said my profile met the job requirements that we're looking for. So if you're a job seeker, it's about how do you make yourself prepared for the opportunities that could exist on the platform like LinkedIn, for example, or like even just putting yourself out there to like places like Instagram, for example, like you know that I follow, so entertainment, bringing back to entertainment, I follow pages of people that work in the entertainment industry, just because I want to kind of like know what's going on in Canada, like just being able to network and all of that. So I don't necessarily need them to follow me back, but just being updated. And when the opportunity comes where maybe they see something I'm doing, or I see something that they are doing, and I reply the message, there's a connection that starts from there. So it's like they are humans. At the end of the day, behind every job profile is a human being. So most important thing is how do you reach that? How do you reach that human the empathy side of things, where it's like, okay, I'm looking for a job. Can I? And sometimes people don't even just like the idea of they're connecting with me, asking me for a job. Oh, hi, I see that you're doing XYZ. If I'm a first year student in that, can you please take me? Do you have time to jump on the call with me? I'd love to learn more about what you're doing. And then just saying that, it's like, okay, let's start a conversation. And then maybe after one or two meetings, or even the third meeting, there's an opportunity that says, okay, I'm actually looking for a job right now. Can you guide me on how to get a job at Google? And the conversation starts from there. I'm saying this now, it's not like I've tried it, but I would have gotten how many jobs that I've gotten, but I know that this is how people have passed their own story with regards to making money.
Yeah, I just had a quick point to tell them because I used to work in the car. Something like that, you kind of feel the time to get the back, too many people are doing it. But if they posted something, maybe it's a quote, maybe it's a comment, something like.
Just engage.
Hey, I really like what you said. People love the stroke.
Yeah.
You do that a couple of times, and they get more for that guy. Then you can approach them. You make it a lot easier.
Yeah, human beings, empathy.
And then the other thing is like, they're looking for actually. Necessarily direct, like person reaching out to you, but there were opportunities where it would be a good fit. When I was doing that, so a lot of people like, there's another thing as well.
Another thing for you guys too is with LinkedIn, I think you can see the networks of other people. So you can see people you're connected to and then who they are connected to. Sometimes it doesn't start with a job, but it might start with, you said like, some people like an ego stroke, but some people like they have knowledge like here and you want to share it. Say, I'm really interested in your industry. Can I have a 20-minute coffee or can I have a 2-minute phone call? I'd like to learn a bit from your expertise. And for a lot of people, they'll pick up the phone in 2 minutes. And then they know your name, they know a bit about you, and it hasn't cost them anything. They give it back to the community. But then now someone's got your name in their mouth when they go into another step.
I think they're called informational meetings.
And the other piece is I follow the company just because, like I said, I think I wanted to follow that, but I want to know what's going on. So I follow their about who I follow. They don't follow me back, but in my feed, I get a lot of knowledge about the company. So even if the company was to reach out to me, I'll be able to tell them what the company is about and things like that. Because that's another thing too that is for is how much you know about the agency or the company. So when I follow them, I go on the news, with the hiring.
And another thing again, I think that just worked for me is prior to starting an interview, when I was interviewing them, the HR or the hiring manager, I first of all go to their profile and check maybe something like start as a conversation starter. Oh, I see you went to University of Woodland. Oh, that's nice. And then I start my conversation there. Right? So that's another tactic where you have an interview, you want to learn more about who the person is. Even if you want to do research in regards to person won an award, just bring it up in the conversation, in the interview. It just shows that you are actually like learning about them, like you're actually like caring or like putting on your research, right?
Can I say one thing about AI?
Sure.
I don't know if anybody, maybe because it's not car, because one of the things when I start my car, it would tell me 20 minutes to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they are, it's like 20 minutes through. I said, I don't know.
But the odd thing is, it doesn't stop my car, it doesn't have to. Doesn't recognize it. It's like I stop my car. It's like, yeah, Google Assistant. I think it's like, I don't know.
Navigation.
So it means maybe the first time. So I'm one of those people, I have to balance things. So when I see that, the job, what I've done with very car, but one of the follow take me with the things I don't think. But that is then, but so even though I'm not
algorithm like anticipate like the needs of somebody who was pregnant, like remind them that they need to take like folic acid and like help people like who are taking their soft and smoking, like, having the algorithm like cater to like needs that might be help them make better decisions, like that's really well. But I also think that like I don't know, I think that like people's freedom as well, like we track and like have all these suggestions to like the healthcare. So yeah, I think that with AI, virtual reality, there's gonna be like a lot of like ethics and stuff like to be considered.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting.
Yeah. There's a full-on conversation about ethics and social media. Like that's a full conversation. Somebody mentioned social dilemma recently. Like I think two movies out, right? Two documentaries I would say, social network by that's very okay. Yes, and then social dilemma. That's a very those are two very powerful visuals about social media. I'm gonna wrap it up quickly because we have 5 minutes left. Another trend again is influencer marketing. I'm sure you've gone online and you've seen one friend or somebody posting about one shoe by Adidas or whatever brand it is, right? Social media or influencer marketing has grown since when we start growing, maybe since like 2015, 2016 is when we really started picking up, or using known faces to influence decisions. Again, this world is human generated, it's content generated. If I know that there's an influencer, there's a celebrity that I like that is wearing Nike shoes, for example, I will probably buy the Nike shoes because I'm seeing somebody, just that idea of relating to the person, kind of feeling like that attachment of somebody's recommending or is endorsing this brand, and I'm just like kind of like because the person is wearing it, I'm like a great so influencer marketing too is also a recent trend that has taken on social media, e-commerce and social media to Instagram. Has anybody okay? So on Instagram right now, there's a way where it creates posts that just directly link to shops. Even WhatsApp has that feature where you could actually have like an e-commerce platform on WhatsApp. So that also is like a recent trend. If you have items or things like that you sell, you could also explore the use of e-commerce and things like WhatsApp, for example, to sell your items. Future predictions, this is quick. Just two major future predictions, like I mentioned, AR and virtual reality. I actually have to do research more in AR because I also was confused too. So AR is, does anybody know the difference between AR and VR? Anybody? No. Okay.
Yeah, so my understanding about reality is that taking materials or experiences that you're currently experiencing and then adding to something. Yeah, so it could be like a picture of yourself or a video of yourself popping a frog or a tiara. So it's you plus something else that's generated versus the virtual reality. 100% creative content, there's some mixed.
Yeah, something perfect. Yeah, but yeah, that's exactly what it is. And it's really there was a time there was something called Pokemon Go. Yeah, Pokemon Go was AR because he used the real world. And again, there are more platforms like that, there are more opportunities like that that we're going to talk, right? So definitely need to look out for AR and VR. Interactive content and user engagement, always, like I said, content is always at the forefront of everything on social media. So we're keen to see more interactive content and more user engagement going across social media. I think that's pretty much what my slide. Thank you so much for.
I didn't want them to stop, honestly, but I did want to give a chance for people to talk before we left, so I just wanted to do that. So again, Peter, I was looking at everybody from the back there, and I noticed that what I think our two youngest members of the audience were quite, we're a little bit quiet. Wanted from your perspective, if you were young and doing all of this, really share with us your using or not using social media. Do either of you want to comment on? MentorshipProgram. Surprise. Go ahead.